Hi everyone, Andrew Johns here. I've had many people ask me lately who I'm voting for the upcoming Vancouver Municipal Election on October 15th. Luckily, I've had the pleasure of hosting many of the candidates on our show here at Coastal Front. We've had in-depth conversations and discussions on how we can address many of the issues facing Vancouver today. You know, what's really important to me more than anything else when I'm making a choice for voting for an elected individual is who that person is, as opposed to the party they represent. It's one of the reasons why I started Coastal Front, was to get to know these politicians better and be able to have their voices out for the rest of the public to hear. So you might be surprised by the broad mix of people I'm about to vote for City Council. So let's go through the list. First is Melissa Dia Genova, as part of the NPA. She's an experienced city councillor who focuses on financial accountability and is a big supporter of the Vancouver Police Department. I think having Melissa back in the seat for a third term is going to be very important. Alongside Melissa is Cinnamon Bayani. She's a new candidate running also under the NPA, but has a background in law enforcement and is a big supporter of the Indigenous community, representing herself as a Métis. So I like Cinnamon, and I think she'll be a good complement to what Melissa brings to the table. Next up we have Rebecca Bly, Sarah Kirby Young, and Lisa Dominato, all with ABC Vancouver and formerly NPA city councillors. These are people who I think have a strong voice for many Vancouverites. They're very smart when it comes to thinking about financial accountability, and they're people who have experience on the job now. So those are people who I want to re-elect. Alongside these three women is Peter Messner, who's also with ABC Vancouver, and I think will come with a very strong voice for the younger generation, as well as focused on what will be helpful for supporting business. Next up is Christine Boyle with One City. I had the pleasure of hosting Christine on our Coastal Front podcast recently, and I really like Christine. I think she's genuine in her desire to make the city a better place, and while I don't necessarily agree with her on all of her policies, she does have a big focus on social justice, on homelessness and the environment, and I think having her back in the seat will be helpful for us. There's a very similar theme here also for Michael Weeb and Pete Fry, both the Green Party of Vancouver. Both Michael and Pete have been in the seat now for 4 years, and I think deserve another opportunity to be back in City Hall, helping make our city a better place. In Michael Weeb's case, I particularly liked his philosophy around complete communities and his focus on bringing back stronger parks and streams and tree canopy to our city. And by Pete Fry in particular, I like how he's had a strong voice for the marginalized communities here in Vancouver. Lastly on my list is Stephen Roberts. Stephen is part of team, and I think will come to the table with a really strong skill set on financial accountability, because he spent his entire career in the world of finance, and he's got some very thoughtful ideas on rezoning. Finally, I want to speak to my choice in mayor. Look, there are some great choices, a lot of great candidates running for mayor in this election. And it was a tough decision, but I made the decision to support Colleen Hardwick. Now why? Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, Colleen is the individual who brought the Auditor General role to the City of Vancouver. And it was amazing to me to think that for so many years, this city has been running with no Auditor General. And if you want to talk about financial accountability, that's the ticket. Secondly, when we released our untraceable report related to cash payments for property taxes in Vancouver, in the end, Colleen Hardwick was the only elected individual who went actually back to city staff and insisted on them looking further into this unacceptable policy of accepting cash for property taxes. I believe Colleen Hardwick will make the city staff accountable, because I think that's one of the big problems that we're seeing in City Hall today. And finally, Colleen is focused on the residents of Vancouver first. That's who she's being elected by, and that's who she's going to represent. Further to this video, I've also published all of these names in an article that we've placed on our website at coastalfront.ca. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, please make sure to share and subscribe to our channel so that you can get more updates as things unfold. Thank you for watching.